What if some of the biggest YouTubers didn't just entertain you, but actually tried to warn you?
There's shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it. But why do they spend millions on advertising?
Years before scandals and controversies took over the platform, a few creators quietly pointed out things that didn't sit right with them.
You can probably imagine my disappointment when mrbeast.
At the time, they sounded paranoid or overly critical, but years later, many of those warnings started to look uncomfortably accurate. From Markiplier questioning a free tool everyone promoted, to PewDiePie calling out the dark side of kids' content, to Jacksepticeye claiming YouTube lost its original spirit. These weren't random opinions, they were early red flags.
Do you think mrbeast ruined YouTube?
Yes.
And most people ignored them. Starting with Markiplier, who in 2019 questioned a browser extension almost every creator was promoting.
Everyone listen, I don't know what it is, but my gut tells me that nothing in life is free. So where's all these savings coming from? And like the money that people get from Honey, I don't trust.
While others accepted sponsorships, he refused. Not because he had proof, but because it didn't make sense. How could a free tool save users money, pay influencers, and still profit?
They push so much advertising. They push so much advertising on YouTube. They do brand deals with other YouTubers. I think they've even offered me, and I said no, because I just don't trust Honey.
That missing piece bothered him.
Honey, I have a feeling there's gonna, in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy of like 2022. And I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's fine. And like, I got no problem.
At the time, people brushed it off as overthinking. But years later, when concerns about how similar tools operate began surfacing, his skepticism didn't seem so crazy.
But there's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it. But why do they spend millions on advertising?
He didn't know the details. He just knew something felt off.
Something's going on there. I don't trust Honey. I don't know what it is.
Then there's PewDiePie, who back in 2017 raised concerns about massive kids channels.
It's something off about it. It's kind of like seeing child stars on television, because you know, like, their parents are literally forcing them.
On the surface, it looked harmless. Colorful thumbnails, toys, and millions of views. But he noticed something strange.
Oh, what is this? 5-year-old threatens to dethrone YouTube king PewDiePie over my goddamn dead body.
The reactions felt forced, the pacing was unnatural, and the engagement didn't match the numbers. More importantly, he pointed out the role of parents behind the scenes.
It's something off about it. It's kind of like seeing child stars on television, because you know, like, their parents are literally forcing them.
He hinted that the content might be driven more by money than by genuine enjoyment. At the time, people laughed it off, but years later, conversations about child exploitation and pressure in family content became much more common, making his early warning feel much more serious. The sidemen gave a more direct and practical warning. During the build-up to their charity football matches, they noticed fake ticket listings and resellers trying to scam fans. Instead of staying silent, they told their audience to avoid unofficial sellers. It wasn't dramatic, but it mattered. In a moment driven by hype, fans could have easily been misled.
We check on eBay, people are reselling.
I really dislike the fact that people have thought, there's a charity event, let me go and buy a ticket
disgusting.
so I can sell it to make 10 times the price of the
And sure enough, many later realized how widespread those scams actually were. It showed how quickly audiences can be exploited when demand is high. Then comes Jacksepticeye, who gave one of the most controversial takes. During a lie detector interview, he was asked if YouTube had changed for the worse. He said yes without hesitation. When asked if one creator played a role, he again said yes.
Do you think mrbeast ruined YouTube?
Yes.
His reasoning wasn't personal, it was about the system. He believed YouTube had shifted from creativity to optimization. Everything became about views, money, and scale.
Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
At the time, many disagreed. But as content became more formula-driven and high-budget, more people started noticing the same thing. His warning began to feel less like criticism and more like observation. At the center of that conversation is mrbeast, whose content represents this new era. But what makes it interesting is how Rosanna Pansino has reacted over time.
Talking about the Beast games is honestly pretty disappointing.
Instead of making one big accusation, she's consistently hinted that things aren't always what they seem.
Who competed in mrbeast's Beast games. She suffered a traumatic brain injury during the games that continues to negatively affect her life many months after competing.
In interviews and podcasts, she's questioned how authentic large-scale challenge videos really are. She's suggested that outcomes may not be as random or fair as viewers think, pointing toward the possibility of behind-the-scenes control. She hasn't directly exposed anything, but she's referenced personal experiences that made her uncomfortable, implying that what happens off-camera can differ from what audiences see. She's also engaged with fans who question the authenticity of viral content, subtly supporting similar concerns. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's consistent, and that consistency matters. Because Rosanna isn't known for drama, her brand has always been positive and safe. So when someone like her repeatedly suggests something feels off, people pay attention. It doesn't come across as clout chasing, it feels deliberate. Like she's carefully choosing her words while still pointing toward a bigger issue. And as more conversations about mrbeast and large-scale content continue, her subtle comments carry more weight. They don't prove anything on their own, but they add to a growing sense that there may be more going on behind the scenes.
And that's when I actually stopped watching mrbeast's content because he always in interviews says, gives away these cars, he really gives away all this money, it's real, it's real, it's real.
Then there's Chris Broad, who looked at the bigger picture.
I've been lucky to do this 12 years now, and in that time I've witnessed YouTube empires rise and fall.
His concern wasn't about one creator, it was about influence. He questioned what happens when the biggest YouTubers set a standard focused entirely on spectacle and virality.
One of the world's biggest YouTubers at the time had turned up and done some really messed up things, from throwing Pokemon balls at police officers and terrorizing the public, to going into a forest and filming something so horrific I can't even explain what it is.
When millions of viewers grow up watching content designed purely for attention, what does that teach them? His warning wasn't dramatic, but it was important.
Imagine my disappointment when mrbeast, the world's biggest YouTuber, partnered with this guy, Logan Paul, and endorsed him to an audience of over 300 million subscribers, many of them kids.
It shifted the focus from individuals to the direction of the platform itself. Looking at all these moments together, a pattern becomes clear. None of these warnings came with solid proof at the time. Most were based on instinct, observation, or personal experience, and because of that, they were easy to ignore. But as time passed, those same warnings started to feel less like opinions and more like early signals. It raises a simple question: how many red flags do we ignore just because they aren't proven yet? On a platform as fast-moving as YouTube, it's easy to overlook the bigger picture. People scroll, watch, and move on without thinking twice. But sometimes, the creators themselves see things earlier than everyone else, and sometimes they try to tell you. The real question is, next time it happens, will anyone actually listen?